Willa Cather's My Antonia is set in Nebraska in the late 19th century, a period in which pioneers were arriving in great numbers to settle and cultivate the land. When Cather moved from Virginia to Nebraska as a young girl, the wide expanses of the Great Plains had a profound effect on her. In My Antonia, the land itself becomes an undeniable presence. Willa Cather was born in 1873 in Virginia's Shenandoah Valley. Not unlike My Antonia's narrator, Jim Burden, Cather moved to the plains of Nebraska when she was 9 years old. Growing up on this new frontier, she understood the prairie as a native, yet she never lost her outsider's sense of the strange, almost inhuman presence of the landscape. The immigrant culture that Cather explored in her fiction is present even today in Nebraska. When Cather published My Antonia in 1918, the book was a major departure from the literary trends of the day. She not only strayed from the urban settings and themes that were fashionable at the time, her characters were also new to contemporary American fiction. They were common folks, and even more rare for the time, many of them were immigrants, all presented with genuine dignity. Cather is a novelist that one can recommend to a foreigner to show what American society is really like across all classes. In the novel, Antonia's father is overcome with anxiety and depression as he struggles to make a place for his family in this new country. Ultimately unable to cope with these mounting pressures, Mr. Shimerda takes his own life. With her father dead, Antonia must take on the work of a grown man to help her family survive. Most great American novelists, like Fitzgerald, Hemingway, or Dreiser, write most passionately about failure. By contrast, Cather is the American novelist who best captures success, with all the sacrifices it demands. The immigrant experience that she describes in My Antonia has universal resonance. Willa Cather's family first settled on the southern Nebraska prairie, 17 miles from the town of Red Cloud. After trying his hand at farming for 2 years, Cather's father decided it wasn't the life for him, so he moved the family into town. My Antonia presents one of the great love stories in American literature, which is all the more surprising when you realize that its two central characters, Jim and Antonia, never come together in a romantic relationship. Just before Jim Burden leaves for college, he meets Antonia and some other immigrant girls for a picnic out on the prairie. As the sun is setting, both on the land and on this innocent chapter of their lives, they see a stunning vision in the distance.
Presently, we saw a curious thing. There were no clouds, the sun was going down in a limpid, gold-washed sky. Just as the lower edge of the red disk rested on the high fields against the horizon, a great black figure suddenly appeared on the face of the sun. We sprang to our feet, straining our eyes toward it. In a moment we realized what it was. On some upland farm, a plow had been left standing in the field. The sun was sinking just behind it. Magnified across the distance by the horizontal light, it stood out against the sun, was exactly contained within the circle of the disk, the handles, the tongue, the share, black against the molten red. There it was, heroic in size, a picture writing on the sun.
Just as Jim Burden would move from Black Hawk to the big city, so did Willa Cather leave Red Cloud at age 16. After graduating from the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, Cather moved east to Pittsburgh, a new industrial capital of the country, to begin a career in magazine editing. Eventually settling in New York, Cather became the managing editor for McClure's, one of America's most prominent magazines of the time. Despite her success as a journalist and editor, it would be years before Cather finally turned her full attention toward fiction. Cather wrote that one's strongest emotions and most vivid mental pictures are acquired, before the age of 15. Willa Cather eventually became one of America's best-loved writers. She won the Pulitzer Prize in 1923 for One of Ours, and later received the Gold Medal of the National Institute of Arts and Letters. In 1947, at the age of 73, she died at her home in New York City. My Antonia has a famous Latin epigraph that summarizes the central theme of the novel.
Willa Cather quotes Virgil, "Optima dies prima fugit." The best days are the first to flee.